Hello everyone, my name is Charlie Walkrich, and in this video I'll share a few tips on how to choose a DJ for your wedding in San Diego, Los Angeles, Orange County, or pretty much anywhere in the United States. If you are new on my channel, I'd like to invite you to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on more helpful tips, along with some truly unique music videos which you will never get to experience unless you subscribe. Last but not least, in order to get the most benefit out of this video, be sure to watch the entire thing without skipping through. Trust me, you'll be happy you did. And now, let's jump right in. But wait a minute, who am I to tell you how to choose the best wedding DJ? What makes me think I know what I'm talking about? These days, we have so many so-called experts on YouTube, right? Well, yes, I am an actual wedding DJ with over a decade of experience, but forget about that, it's not important at this moment. What really matters is that I get to see many other wedding DJs literally all the time when I provide other wedding services. So let's say a couple is getting married and they've already hired another wedding DJ, but they still need a videographer or other services. This is when I might come in, either personally or while supervising my workers, since my company specializes in many different wedding services, including planning, coordination, photography, videography, DJ services, live music, audiovisual equipment rentals, event lighting design, and so on. This gives me a chance to work with all kinds of wedding DJs, the best and the worst, expensive and cheap, amateur family friends, and experienced professionals. I get to meet them and see exactly what they do, from the moment they show up and start setting up for the ceremony, oftentimes until the moment the entire reception is over. I get to see their equipment, hear their announcements, watch how they interact with the couple, their guests, and other vendors, and most importantly, analyze their unique skills and learn from their mistakes. Does that mean I am the best wedding DJ? No, I simply don't have some of the talents I've seen among many different DJs. All it means is that hopefully I'm competent enough to talk about this topic and my tips are helpful to you. After all, it's impossible to combine all the talents and stuff it into one single person. For example, I sing, play piano, keyboards, drums, and produce music, some of which you can find on this channel, but I cannot play guitar, violin, or any other instrument. I know it might be a strange comparison, but it's going to be the exact same thing when you hire a wedding DJ. He's going to have some strengths and some weaknesses. And your job is to know what's most important to you so you can choose the best match tailored to your specific needs. One of the most common misunderstandings among couples who are planning their wedding is that a wedding DJ is just some dude who plays music. That couldn't be further from the truth. Playing dance music during group dancing is only one of the many responsibilities a wedding DJ has. How about assisting with timeline and agenda preparation, consulting and helping you decide when and how it's best to do your ceremony processionals, reception grand entrance, first dance, mother-son dance, father-daughter dance, toasts, speeches, cake cutting, bouquet toss, garter removal, etc. Making sure it flows smoothly and your guests know exactly what's going on by providing clear and professional MC announcements and introductions. Coordinating with your photographers and videographers to make sure they are ready before announcing the most important events I just mentioned above. Coordinating with your family and friends to make sure they are ready for their speech before introducing them for toasts and other activities. Taking the time to get to know you before the wedding to prepare a song list that is full of music that is meaningful to you and your guests. Not to mention being responsible, preparing in advance, testing the equipment and having a backup plan just in case anything goes wrong. You don't want your DJ to bring a microphone that will be cutting in and out, in and out, in and out in the middle of your ceremony, right? You probably don't want to have a DJ who will do your wedding party introduction and your first dance while your photographer is in the restroom and misses the whole thing, right? Or how about a wedding DJ who won't announce anything at all so no one in the room knows what's going on or what's about to happen, and therefore has no clue when it's okay to step outside or use the restroom without missing anything? It doesn't stop here. You don't want a DJ who brings cheap, terrible sounding speakers that are literally destroying people's ears. Or a DJ who doesn't know how to properly use EQ to improve the sound based on room acoustics. Or a DJ who brings amazing speakers but puts them on the floor while he sits on his chair playing with his new phone. And his power strips, wires, equipment bags are lying around all over the place and will probably end up in some of your wedding photos. Not to mention a DJ who chooses songs based on his own music preferences while completely disregarding you and your guests. Or a DJ who has a personality/attitude problem and simply doesn't know how to work with people. Trust me, I've seen it all, and it made me so sad. It's once in a lifetime event and you are chosen to be a part of it. As a DJ or any other wedding vendor, you should do whatever it takes to make it a happy day and a perfect day for the newlyweds and their family members. This includes helping each other out, even if you just met this person. But some DJs sadly don't feel this way or simply don't have the necessary experience and skills required to be a truly great and helpful wedding DJ. For example, your friend who likes music and is willing to DJ your wedding as a gift to you might be an amazing person, but he probably doesn't do weddings very often, so taking on all of these responsibilities might simply overwhelm him and stress him out to the point that he messes everything up. Or it can actually happen the other way around. Let's say you hire a top-rated wedding DJ with 100 years of experience. But he is so overconfident and stubborn that it blocks him from seeing his flaws and doing the prep work that's required to provide you with an excellent service. So how do you choose a DJ for your wedding? First of all, let's determine your goals and priorities. For example, maybe music itself is not that important to you and you just want to have someone who can do great announcements and introductions. Or maybe it's the other way around. You don't care that much about all the formalities and just want to have someone who can play great music all day. Well, what do you mean by great music in the first place? Is it a list of songs that you choose and give it to your DJ as a must playlist before the wedding? Or do you actually want your DJ to read the crowd and play what's most appropriate to keep your guests on the dance floor? Or maybe a little bit of both with some prep work and a personal touch. My recommendation is to think about it and write it all down in an email that you can later send to several potential wedding DJs. This way, they'll have a chance to know a little bit more about your vision and your expectations and provide you with solid answers along with the price quote. When you read their responses, you'll be able to tell how much attention to detail they have and what exactly they're willing to do to make sure your event is a success. If you are not sure what you want or need, don't worry, just say that in the email and the great wedding DJ should be able to guide you and provide options to choose from. You should also ask your DJ to send you some samples of their work, including videos of their announcements, their DJ mixes, and their lighting setup. If this initial communication process becomes helpful to you, chances are that DJ will be helpful at your actual wedding as well. Before making your final decision, I also recommend looking up your DJ on Google, Yelp, Facebook, Wedding Wire, and The Knot to check out their reviews. Try to carefully read at least a few positive and negative reviews so you can get a pretty good idea of what to expect. Keep in mind that some of those reviews might be fake. For example, almost 10 years ago, someone I know got angry at me, pretended to be a bride, and posted a terrible 1-star review everywhere online. Thankfully, I was able to get that taken down. There are also some DJs who might buy positive reviews or ask their family members and friends to post them. One more important tip I have for you is this: do not try to find the cheapest DJ. These days, almost anyone can download some music and call themselves a DJ. But if you got to this point of the video, you already know that being a wedding DJ is a profession that requires special skills and training. It's just like being a teacher, a fireman, a lawyer, or a doctor. If your main objective is to save money, think about what you're willing to sacrifice. Unless you're mentally prepared for everything to go wrong while being completely okay with it, try to extend your wedding DJ budget just a little bit and it will be well worth it. It's also important to point out that most wedding DJs in the United States do not know how to beat match, mix, or produce music. As long as they are good at everything else I mentioned earlier in this video, it's usually enough for a successful wedding. But if you want to have an actual DJ artist who is truly talented and knows how to manipulate music, you'll have to expand your search. Mention this to your wedding planner if you have one. Otherwise, try to email as many DJs as possible, asking about this before anything else. Some wedding DJs can even play live instruments. This can add much more class and elegance to your big day while truly impressing your guests. It also gives your DJ extra knowledge and advantage when picking which songs to play. A wedding DJ who is also a musician is likely to choose better music. It's as simple as that. So, if you want the best of the best, that's exactly what I would aim for, as long as that person is also good at handling everything else I mentioned earlier in this video. To summarize my main tips on choosing a DJ, I'd outline the following 5 steps. Step number 1, educating yourself on the responsibilities of a wedding DJ, which you just did by watching this video. Step number 2, determining your goals and priorities. In other words, knowing what you want. Step number 3, sending a detailed email with your vision and your questions to a few potential wedding DJs you'd like to consider hiring. Step number 4, checking out audio, video, and photo samples of their work. What their setup looks like, what equipment they use, what music they play, how they play it, etc. And finally, step number 5, reading online reviews before making your final decision, while keeping in mind that some of those reviews might not be real. If this video was helpful, please be sure to give it a like, subscribe, and leave a comment below, which would help me grow this YouTube channel. If you need a wedding planner, coordinator, photographer, videographer, DJ, live music, audio-visual equipment rental, or event lighting design services anywhere in Southern California or anywhere in the United States, feel free to email me at charliewalkrich@gmail.com and I'd be happy to help. Last but not least, if you'd like to learn a little bit more about who I am and my story, I'd like to recommend my American Dream video, which is pretty exciting. The link should be popping up on the screen right now, and it's also included in the video description below. Thank you everyone for watching, and I wish you great success with everything you do.